Well, it's always a tough pill to swallow when you think you've done the right thing in a certain situation, only to learn too late that it wasn't. You certainly don't want this to happen when planning for retirement. So Greg Taylor, Ohio's retirement coach from Legacy Retirement Group, is here to help us avoid a few pitfalls. Happy Monday, Greg.
Happy Monday.
All right, so how often do you really meet with people who sit down and they say, Greg, I got it all under control. I think I planned, I think I did everything right, only to find out maybe not so much.
Well, the good news is most people realize that they haven't got everything together, but there are those few that think they've got everything. They come in for a pat on the back, and when we tell them otherwise, it's kind of scary for them.
I'm sure it can be. So you really need to understand all of the aspects of retirement. That's the truth. So that's going to lead us to our first email question for you. And this is from Betty in Grove City. She said, I've heard you mention the 3 qualities of money. Can you remind us what they are and how they apply to my retirement planning?
Well, the qualities we talk about are growth. We certainly want our money to grow over time. Safety. Most people want growth, but they really aren't that comfortable with losing money.
Oh, nobody is, right?
You know, but and then also liquidity. We want our money to be available when we want to spend some of it. And all that works together, but the thing we find out is there's different worlds of money, but not one world can we do all 3. You know, we can put our money in the bank, but at the bank, you can get safety and liquidity, but there's not a whole lot of growth going on right now. We can use Wall Street and the stock market, and there's certainly potential for growth, and for the most part, our money there is liquid as well, but not always safe. There's times we can lose some of our money, and then we use insurance products such as certain types of annuities, and we can have safety of our principal, we can have growth potential, but then there's a time commitment. Things aren't 100% liquid. So there's always going to be a string attached. You just have to make sure that what you're using is most appropriate for where you are in life and what you're trying to achieve.
Okay, Greg, next we have Lewis in Columbus. And he said he's not sure he's getting everything right. So he's admitting this, okay? He says, I'm 79. Most of my retirement savings is in a mix of stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. My broker says I'm diversified. I'm still uneasy about the risk I might be taking. So am I being paranoid again? He is 79.
Well, at 79, we use simply some very common rules. And at 79, that might be a little bit much to have everything in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. And as one person came into the office a few years ago and said, you know, being diversified like that just spread the pain around in a whole lot of different places when everything went down back in 2008. What we like to do is see people have some money in the bank for their immediate needs. Use good, solid, highly rated insurance companies to protect the principal, but yet still give you some upside potential that's a little better than what the bank's offering right now. And then use Wall Street for that long-term growth that we're not expecting to have to touch. But more of a balance would be what I would call diversification.
Okay, so the broker might need a talking to.
Well, the problem is a lot of brokers deal primarily in the accumulation phase of life where you're trying to accumulate from 20, 30, 40 years of age, and that works really well. But when you get into 60, 70, 80, now you might need to start looking in a different direction or find someone that's in tune with retirement, and that's what they specialize in.
Okay, Greg, another example we have here from Linda in Springfield of learning too late that she didn't quite cover her bases. She says, my mother passed away last year. Her estate's still going through probate. She had a will. We thought that would avoid probate. Did we do something wrong?
Well, you didn't do anything wrong, Linda. The problem is you didn't understand the definition of probate. It's the legal process, meaning that they're going to prove that your will is going to be true and valid. So having a will is like that engraved invitation, you know, saying, welcome to probate, right? You got the invitation, you have a will. Now, there are ways to avoid probate. You can create a revocable living trust or something like that, title assets into the trust, and your successor trustee after you're gone could then carry things out right on and avoid probate. Or you can simply name beneficiaries on everything. And we're used to, like on life insurance, naming a beneficiary, or on our IRAs or 401ks, naming a beneficiary. But a lot of people don't think about naming a beneficiary on their house. How do you do that? You can have a house, joint tenants with the right of survivor if you're married, and it just goes from one to the other. And then you can have what's called TOD, which stands for transfer on death. So if you have a child or a grandchild or some loved one that you'd like to have your home when you're gone, name them TOD, or if you have a couple of children, you can name them TOD. It would avoid probate, go to them, and that would be a little easier and less costly for your family.
All right, Greg, always good advice, and his Monday morning lessons are not finished. In fact, it is time to lay down a few rules, and that's coming up next.